Hey there, everyone. How's it going? It's Declan here. I hope you're all keeping well. I'm just going to give a couple of moments for people to get on live here. I've got some good stuff for you today. Also going live on Instagram on my phone there. So anyway, you'll see in the comments I've put in that the people who are really successful, they all take the easy road. Okay, and I'm sure that got your interest. It's like, hang on, that's not what we normally hear. You don't typically hear that someone's taken the easy road. Well, I'm just going to bring your attention to the fact that next week, from the 14th till the 18th of September, we're going to be having an absolutely amazing program taking place, an amazing workshop called The Secret to Think and Grow Rich, right? Now, here's the book, The Secret to Think and Grow Rich. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you something pretty powerful. I want you to remember that book for a second. Now, why did I say that successful people always take the easy option and the easy road? That probably doesn't sound like what I teach or what you hear people talking about in personal development. Well, it's actually a play on words. In this book, they talk about decision. I'm going to explain in this workshop next week on Thursday why the word decision is totally different than what you think it is. It's not a preference of will I have a salad or will I have a soup? Will I get a biscuit or a chocolate bar with my coffee? Decision, when you make a decision, it's not just a choice. It's like a spiritual act, because when you make a decision, your life is going to change either way. A decision to do something, it changes in that direction. A decision not to do something, it doesn't change, or it goes in a worse direction. So people who are really successful take the easy road. Well, what does that mean? I'm going to have a little play on words here. It is easy to not make a change in your life, but in the long road, it's harder. More stress, more pain, more procrastination, less income. If you have been guided, or if you have had an intuition or a hunch, or you saw a webinar, or you got on a call with somebody, for example, I used to do that in the past. I'd get on calls and I know I needed to change my life, and I'd get on a call with somebody and I'd be like, yeah, I really know I need to do this. And then you take the hard road. Well, it feels like the easy road to say no to yourself, because you're not really ever saying no to the person, you're saying no to yourself. So the easy road is to say no, but in the long way, it's a harder road, because you're living the same life that got you on that call. You're living the same life that piqued your interest to maybe watch a webinar. And it seems harder to go ahead, but it seems easier just to say, look, I won't. That's hard. It's actually harder not to. It's harder on you. So let's look at it in a different way. It's easy to roll up in your car to some sort of a fast food drive-in. It's a little bit cheaper, in fact, as well. You just roll up there, you spend a few quid, you can get all these meals. I don't even know what to call them, but there's all these meals, and there's a shake, and there's these chips, and away you go, and you have food. And it's easier, instead of buying the produce and peeling them and chopping them and boiling them and slicing them and dicing them and wash up and all that afterwards. But it is ultimately harder on your body to eat that processed foods than it is to buy the nutritious foods. And if it might be harder to do it, but it's easier on your body to do the home baking and the home cooking and the home preparation. Yeah, it's harder, but what else are you going to be doing? Watching TV? Isn't that the greatest trap of all time, right? So why do I say successful people take the easy road? Well, they do. They make decisions, and there's a really good article that me and my clients read. Every few weeks we read it together, and we'll dissect this article. And it's called The Common Denominator of Success. And one of the main lines in that is that he says the people who are successful, they're the people who do something every day that the people who are unsuccessful are not prepared to do. They don't think about the how. They know, and they've learned, and that's what we'll be teaching next week in this masterclass with this amazing book, Think and Grow Rich. They've known, they've learned that word how is a 3-letter word, but it has 2 completely different meanings. People who are thinking about doing things the easy way, it's easier not to go ahead. It's easier to just, I'll just ignore that person. I won't bother ringing them back, because I was really feeling excited on the webinar, and I was really feeling excited on the call, and I believe I can do it, but then you go back to your normal life and you're like, yeah, that's probably not going to work for me, and I'm probably not going to go ahead, and I'm probably not going to do it. So it's easier to kind of quit before you even started. Even after you start and you're going, that's why, like, what I do and what personal trainers do, and having a psychologist or a psychotherapist helping you in life, these mentors and these people that help us walk through life, it sometimes is harder to make the decision to go and sit with somebody for an hour and talk about your feelings, or talk about marital difficulties, or it's kind of easier not to ring up a personal trainer and say, look, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. I want to pay you money to do that. I want to eat rabbit food. it's kind of easier to say no and not do that. It feels like it's harder to go and do it, but after you've done it, you feel amazing and life feels easier. So do you see the way they're just words, easy and hard? Well, here's another play on words, is the word how. You can feel that you really want to do something. You might have a business that you just keeps like a woodpecker, like, come on, bring me to life. Like it's pecking at you all the time. And it compels you to be in front of somebody and they can really, really help you. But our paradigm is like, nah, come on, take the easy way out here. Get out of this, go away. You just stay doing what you're doing. That annoying little feeling of wanting to do something, that'll go away. Don't worry about it. Put on the TV or get on your phone quickly and scroll and get over it. Quickly get over it. But that's going to come back and it's going to come back and it's going to come back and it's going to keep coming back. Because look at this. This idea has been brought to you and you alone to bring it to life. So it's not going to go away. It eventually might. If you ignore it long enough, it probably will go away. But if it's tapping at you, then think about it. Think about this one word, how. So many people don't go ahead because they need to have the how. You don't need to have the how. Right? Look at it this way. Here's the word how. It's like pushing against the wall, but how am I going to do it? Another way of looking at how is, okay, I want to do it. How can I make that happen? I was talking to a woman a couple of weeks ago and she was like, I really, really want to do this. I really do. I don't have the money, but how can I make that happen? And straight away, ideas started to flood into her life. Okay, I could ask her, I could get a loan, get a creditor. And all of a sudden, she's on her way, happiest decision she ever made. But she was the same as everybody else that day who thought, how? But they were like, how? So they are committing themselves to a harder life, even though it might have felt easier to say, I'll leave it for now. I'll put it up. And that's just somebody, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not better than them or worse than them. My team are not better or worse. My clients are not better or worse. We just think differently, because what we learn, what we teach, and what I've learned from a mentor as well, because it was the best investment I've ever made. And I continue year on year to invest with different mentors and different guides. I never know, like at Christmas morning, it's like, okay, next year I'll have 10,000 to invest in my personal development. I never make that decision, but when something comes along and I know it's going to enhance the quality of my life and therefore the life of the people that I love and my clients and my wife and kids, that I get to show up more in the world, then I won't think about, yeah, but it's going to cost this much. I think about what I'm going to get from it, and then I go after it. Because here's the thing, that's not anything amazingly off the charts new to you either. Because if you've got a laptop or a smartphone you're watching this on, you didn't think, oh, I'll wait now. You just said, well, I need a phone, so I'll get it. All the clothes you have, the TV, everything, the car, you just said, well, I'm going to get it. Like, I need a car, and you just go get it. So think about your own decisions in the last year. Think about your results in the last year. Where are you right now? This is the back to school season. Like, this is a big season for people in personal development. Like, September often is the time where people say, right, I want to do something different with life. This is the time for me. Everyone's gone back doing something new. They've gone to college, they've gone to school. Here in January are two major times for people really taking up new hobbies or really deciding they're going to take something to the next level. I really recommend you register for the course next week. It's free. It's from the 14th to 18th. For a few reasons. If you like the energy on this call, maybe you're getting some inspiration. Yeah, I'll be doing a bit of teaching about these, about 5 of the 13 chapters in this book. But it's not just me, it's all the other participants. We are nearly at 100 people already in the group. We only launched it last week and we've done no paid advertising or anything. It's just these videos are attracting people, which is cool. But they are all just like you and me. They're all into personal development. And the energy in the group's going to be amazing, because when we're talking about some things, people will be typing and you'll feel part of something really cool as well. That's maybe the first step along a hard or easy road, whatever you decide, whatever your attitude allows you to call it. I think it's easy because it's an hour a day from 12 to 1, and you can watch it in the evenings if you're at work at 12 to 1. I think it's easy because we've got a workbook that goes with it. It's easy because I'm going to assign each and every one of you, one of my team, they're going to be like a customer service representative for you on that week, just checking in to see how you're doing. If you have any questions about anything, maybe you can't reach me personally, so you can reach out to them on Facebook Messenger. We're going to take you by the hand and lead you right throughout the week. But what could be a really transformational week in your life in personal development? I knew nothing really changed for me until I actually hired a mentor. And I love that we provide seminars around the country and now this masterclass as well, because I didn't have that myself. I didn't have a kind of a free entry point. It was an investment and I was scared shitless and I didn't have the money, but I did it anyway. And everything really turned around after that. But what I love is giving value. And we have a webinar that we give value on we tell people everything about how we're going to do everything. Next week, we're going to give you all the value that you need. But again, that's a little bit like YouTube, and everything is out there. It's all out there, but we need to start applying it. So next week, I'm going to get you not only to do a little bit of study with us every hour, and then maybe a little bit of homework that night. I'm going to be getting you guys to go out and actually do certain things as well. And I'm sure that by even Tuesday next week, you'll really start to see a shift in your results. So register for the webinar wherever you're seeing this. There should be a link to the webinar in the comments section. Take the easy way and look after yourself and start thinking about your mindset. You live with your mindset so much. And if it's a weak muscle, you can't lift weights, then you can build that muscle. If your mind is controlling your varying levels of happiness and it's controlling your results, and it is, it's controlling your bank balance, your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your parents. Here's another example of easy versus hard. It's hard to go to somebody that you haven't spoken to for a few years and make amends, but it's easier not to do it. But it's actually harder on the long run if you don't, make friends with that person, or if you guys go to the grave with that hatred, it's actually harder on both of you guys. It's easier to stay not talking, but it's actually easier on you both if you make amends. Like these are so many different ways of just using the same word, like how or decision. Really and truly, you just have no clue where this information can take you when you start understanding how your mind works for you 100% of the time, always, if you learn how to keep it focused and train it. But it's always working against you. And I don't know you personally. I can't even see who's live with me here. But you know yourself where your results are at right now, and your results are a clear indication of whether you are in control or your mind is kind of running amok. Okay, so I really look forward to being a great starting point for you next week. See you on the masterclass. I'll probably be back with another couple of videos over the coming week with invitations as well. Take care, and thanks for watching.